IP help desk couldn't miss a chance to be where the IP is. If we're talking about IP, we're talking about comics. This is the reason why we are at the Heroes Comic Con, Finland, on its second edition. We're here to meet all those artists belonging to this creative industry and see how much they know about intellectual property, whether they know how to use that as a business tool, and to let them know that the help desk is here to help. Illustrators, tattoo artists, video game developers, voice actors, cosplayers, content creators, and many more gather in Helsinki over the 3 days of the leading event for otakus and comic fans from the Nordic countries. Here all kinds of merchandise abound, but in addition to shopping, attendees can meet their favorite artists, enjoy exotic food, dance, and show off their cosplays. With so much IP everywhere, it is understandable that events like this see a fair amount of IP infringements. Don't get me wrong, the organizers make a real effort and try to prevent counterfeit goods and unauthorized copies from being sold here. But it is almost inevitable, and in many cases, it happens in good faith. People are funny. Could you believe that I found some that told me that fine arts is absolutely illegal? Yes, it is, of course, but you must distinguish between something that is absolutely made for non-profit purposes and what you're doing here. They're selling it, okay? Works that are protected by copyright but others are being sold by illustrators that are trying to make a living out of it. So I had no choice but to recruit a handful of brave volunteers and put their IP knowledge to the test. The game is simple. I present them with several typical scenarios that might take place at a Comic-Con, and they have to decide whether they think the rights holder's permission is required or whether the law already allows the activity. In other words, whether there is an infringement or not. Create an avatar of a famous person, including their tattoos. Infringement.
I would still say that it's not infringement because it is a human being. Not.
I'm gonna say yes.
But am I right or not? I'm not right! Shit, I'm not allowed to swear.
Yes.
Insert famous characters or songs as Easter eggs.
So that as an Easter egg, because it is not a direct ripoff of the intellectual property, should not be an infringement.
Infringement.
No. Come on.
Yes.
What again? God, I have no idea about intellectual property apparently.
Create a YouTube channel with some non-monetized videos of ambient background music from video games.
I would say no.
Non-monetized. See, that's the thing. I imagine that if money gets involved, but at the same time they still don't have the rights to be able to use that music online, therefore I say that it is an intellectual property infringement.
Infringement.
Yes.
100%.
Here you go. Aha, yes, I remember that.
Yes. Okay.
Create a character with superhuman strength who can fly, wears blue and red clothes, and has X-ray vision.
Yes. Infringement.
Yes, I think. But you're not referencing Superman directly. You would be creating something that is based on it. You cannot own a concept, and therefore you cannot intellectually property protect a concept, which is what happened with Wheel of Fortune. So I would say that that is not intellectual property infringement.
Stop.
What? Okay, I got it right.
Really? Review a film, series, or video game using clips, posters, pictures from it.
I would say no.
No, it's not infringement, I think.
I'm gonna go with not infringement if it's a review.
You are not allowed to do that, so that would be an copyright infringement. Yeah. What? It would be an educational video.
Make a product of a famous series or comic characters and sell it.
You're not allowed to do that. That is copyright infringement, and it is a very gray area in Artist Alley.
As a screen print, I'm gonna say no. Can't do that.
But it's a yes.
But it's a yes, we do it anyway.
Yes.
Infringement.
Yes, infringement.
Use music that has become a meme in my content, such as
What is love?
Please
Baby,
don't hurt me.
me.
Don't hurt
Don't
me.
hurt me.
No more. So see, that's the thing. If it is a meme, you still are not technically allowed to use it. I would think, even if it's just a portion of it, because you do not own the rights for their music. So I would say that it is a copyright infringement.
No.
It's not infringement.
Not infringement.
You have to pay royalties for things like this, so it's an infringement.
No. I don't want to.
Then it's an infringement.
Please, it's a meme. We need memes. So no, I would say it's not an infringement. Is it?
It's an infringement. Epic.
No. I do know my stuff. It has happened to us that stuff has gone viral online, but we haven't really given them the, we do not really allow them on Pinterest, especially. People repost our work, like photos of our plushies or even the illustrations themselves. We haven't allowed them to do this, so that technically is an infringement of our copyright, and it is very annoying.
it is clear that the IB Help Desk has plenty of work ahead, and we certainly won't be missing the next edition of Heroes Comic Con Finland.